Thank you, Ms. Emery, and thank all three of you. The reason it looks kind of blank up here, we're in the middle of a vote. So Chairman Carper went to make his vote, so I'll take the time to do my questioning, and then I'll have to leave and do my constitutional duties. So, Ms. Emery, let's get to the flexibility issue. You heard me ask Assistant Administrator Fox about this. There was a January 6th memo that EPA put out, a guidance memo, that encouraged and sort of sought to impose some of EPA's priorities in selecting community investments. And this is what I was trying to say to her is exactly what you said much better in your statement. Leave us the flexibility to do what we want and what we know is best for our communities as we tailor them. What kind of challenges and concerns do you have that this EPA guidance may be trying to rein in some of your flexibility?
I am a little concerned by that memo. It was a bit of a surprise. I do want to start off by saying that, this past year we had a lot of conversations with EPA Region 3. They are an excellent funding partner with West Virginia. They were asking questions about have we evaluated our affordability criteria, the prioritization criteria. EPA's guidance had a lot of suggestions for states to consider, and we did take advantage of those suggestions, and we did make adjustments in our intended use plan. But when I'm reading this memo and it's talking about additional criteria in addition to the intended use plan checklist, when it's talking about implementation of a priority criteria that they are developing in coming months, that they're going to be accessing our IUPs based against that.
So you haven't even seen that yet?
I have not seen it. It's saying it's in development, and so it has me a little concerned that there's going to be criteria that they're going to ask us to incorporate into our intended use
So
plans.
you could create your own plan, tailored to your own, as Congress intended, tailored to our state of West Virginia, yes, and to our small disadvantaged communities and smaller communities, because that's basically what we are in a lot of ways, very small communities, that you formulate all this, you get your technical expertise together, you formulate the plan, it goes to EPA, and then all of a sudden they come back with criteria you haven't seen to say, but you're not doing this and this. Is that the concern? Am I hearing that correctly?
That is my concern. I'm wondering where this memo is taking us at this point.
Do they give you a time frame on that?
No. I do have, a list of questions. It's in the memo. We're set up to have a conversation with Region 3. But like I said, I have not seen whatever this priority criteria is that they're supposed to establish.
Mr. Sigmund, are you hearing this across the country, same issue?
I'm not familiar with the most recent. Our experience with the State of Wisconsin Clean Water Fund has been very positive, and that's been over the last year. They have taken what they received from EPA. We have formed a working group with our Clean Water Fund, and they've expanded the definition of what is considered to be a disadvantaged community, but have not excluded those that are historical. So I am not as familiar with the most recent changes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Emery, I think you and I can talk about it. I thought it was interesting that Senator Lummis talked about leakage of water out of small systems. We know that's a huge issue for us. We have some lead. We know that was discovered in the north central part of the state and is probably more predominant in other areas of the state. What do you think our biggest challenge specific to our state in water infrastructure is for the small and rural? Is it going to be the testing for PFAS as we see it come through, the destruction of PFAS? What are we going to do with it when we get it? How are we going to replace our filters? I'm naming some of the things, if you could see it from your perspective.
I think the primary thing is affordability and sustainability for our communities. When you are talking
for the systems or the individuals or both?
Yes, for all of the above. In addition to just what we're talking about in maintaining existing infrastructure, extending sewer services out to other communities, other areas. Now we're trying to assess the PFAS situation in West Virginia. Where is it? Where is the contamination coming from? And we're adding lead service lines on top of all of that. So it's a lot for all of these communities to take on, and we are working with them on these one by one. That is why the flexibility of the SRFs, I think, have to be maintained. Our communities, some of the more rural disadvantaged, trying to gather enough grant funding and debt forgiveness to support just the projects they have because they can't sustain debt service. They're struggling just to pay the operation and maintenance.
Right, and the customers can't afford another rate hike. I mean, I know that's always part of the considerations.
An example for that is community of Yeager in McDowell County. As you
right.
know, it's one of our most economically distressed counties. We're finally getting a sewer system into Yeager. It's a combination of a lot of grant funding sources, but I was looking at the combined water and wastewater rate for those citizens, and it will be over $100 a month. It'll be over 3% of the median household income just for water and wastewater. That's without adding on other considerations going forward.
All right. Well, thank you, and I'm going to do my vote, and I think Senator